Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today, my team will be present hazard identification, risk assessment and risk control, HIRARC. So let's get to know our team. So my name is Shasha Rafiqaliana binti Rosman and these are my teams. So let's go to table of contents. Table of contents consists of four types of content. It is competent person, hazard elements, risk assessments and risk control. So what is HIRARC? So it stands for Hazard Identification, Risk Assessment and Risk Control. It's a systematic approach to managing workplace safety and health by identifying potential hazards by and evaluating the associated risk and implementing control measures. This process helps organizations comply with safety regulations, reduce risk levels, and create a safer working environment. So, what's the importance of HIRARC? As for hazard identifications, this involves recognizing potential sources for harm or danger in the workplace, such as unsafe working condition, hazardous materials, and risky work practices. This is to make sure every employee at the workplace be aware and safe. Next is risk assessment. Once hazards are identified, the next step is to assess the risk associated with them. This includes determining the likelihood of the hazard occurring and severity of the potential harm. Last is risk control. This phase focuses on implementing measures to eliminate or minimize the identified risk. Control measures can include engineering controls, administrative controls, or the use of personal protective equipment (PPE), such as safety goggle, the safety boots, as for example of PPE. So we have select a competent person. These are the competent person background. It is Muhammad Qayyum bin Abdul Halim. He works at Cone Elevator M Sendirian Berhad. So we select him, Mr. Qayyum, for this HIRARC because he holds a CP3 certification which qualifies him to conduct lift inspections. This expertise is crucial for complex installation like the false guard. So here are the project of false guard that he have made. False guard. What is false guard? It is a temporary working platform used inside elevator shafts during the construction, installation, or maintenance of lifts. So these are the example of Mr. Koyum project that he have done. So this is one of the latest achievement that Mr. Koyum have achieved. So that's all for me. I'll pass to my friend. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fadila binti Fazil Isam. So I will proceed with the hazard element that we are able to identify during the installation of IT platform, commonly called as false car. The first step during the installation process is to inform the project and ESH management before starting the work, and also the PIC and the supervisor need to explain to the all workers regarding the sequence of the job. The ESH officer also need to make sure there are safety permit or work permit available before allowing the installation process. Okay, the hazard that we are able to identify from the first step is the first one is miscommunication that can resulting the worker work in unsafe location. Second one is wrong location, that the worker might expose to falling object due to the site under construction. And also, by wrong installation, the sequence of work completion is not followed, that may cause physical hazard. And also, from the hazard identification, miscommunication, wrong location, and wrong installation may cause rework, consume time and money to the employee, to the employer. Okay, the second one will be to install barricade to prevent unauthorized entry. The hazard identification that we are able to identify is unauthorized entry might resulting to slip, trip, and fall into the lift shaft. And if you are already in the lift shaft, you might expose to the falling object. The third one is mobilization of tool, machineries, and material at the site. The worker might transfer all the items from the warehouse to the site. So the hazard that we are able to identify is through this step, it might cause a physical injuries and traffic hazard. The physical injury are due to ergonomic factor and wrong body posture when you are transferring these materials. And workers are also exposed to fall, slip, and trip due to uneven ground surface. The fourth one will be installation of scaffold structure from the lift pit below to the second and third floor entrance at opening height. The hazard that we are able to identify is the worker might expose to physical injuries due to ergonomic factor and body posture, falling from height because you are installing the structure at second and third floor, and also exposing to the falling object, and also incompetent installer may resulting to cutting hazard due to connecting the scaffold fitting in the wrong way. And workers are also exposed to the working tools fall from the height. Okay. The fifth one will be installation of guardrail, bracket, and other fitting accessory inside the lift shaft until sufficient height of the U-frame installation. In this step, we are able to identify the safety hazard, which means unsafe working condition, because the worker are working at the opening working platform. Second will be incompetent installer, that also can expose the worker to the potential of slip, trip, and fall during the installation. The third one will be poor ventilation and also heat stress. From this can resulting the worker to have shortness of breath due to poor air ventilation and hot working environment. The fifth will be physical injuries such as cutting themselves during the installation, and also the worker will be exposed to the electrocuted, which means electrical hazard, because the machinery are connected to the power supply, maybe using cord or any extension that can lead to maybe electrical shock. The next one will be installation of U-frame at the platform. The hazard identification that we are able to identify is the first one is unsafe working condition that can resulting to slip, trip, and fall due to improper or working at the opening platform. Next will be incompetent installer, also can resulting to tripping due to poor tools management during the work. The poor ventilation and heat stress also can resulting to shortness of breath due to poor air ventilation, and hot working environment. Next will be the worker also might expose themselves to physical injury, which is cutting, and also expose themselves to unsecure working tools. The next job during this installation process is roping at man riding hose and fall arrestor. The hazard that we are able to identify is incompetent installer by resulting to economic hazard and also pinching themselves due due to falling of equipment and maybe to excessive force during equipment manual handling, due to also maybe the heavy load during the roping process. The next will be electrification of IT platform. During the process, the incompetent installer might result into failure of equipment malfunction that can resulting to mechanical hazard and also electrocuted themselves. This one might happen if there are some miscommunication during the testing process. The next one will be test function of IT platform on the man riding horse, fault arrestor and brake device. Okay, during the test function, the incompetent installer of operator might expose themselves to ergonomic hazard and also cutting any part of their body. Okay, the last step will be housekeeping. During the housekeeping, we are able to identify several hazards, which is improper arrangement of material can lead to trip and fall, and also if there are any oil and liquid spillage can resulting to slippery surface that can cause loss of balance and eventually may cause harm to the worker. Okay, and due to this spillage also might resulting to unsafe walkway at the site area.
Okay, what is risk assessment? The definition of risk assessment is to identify hazard by evaluating the likelihood, severity of harm, and then taking action to control that risk. Okay, what is the goal of risk assessment? Is to prevent accidents, ensure safety, and comply law from OSHA and also DOSH. And then the key benefit of risk assessment is to build a safety culture and protect everyone at work. Okay, in the risk assessment process, the first one is to identify potential hazard. The first one we have to check tasks, equipment, environment, and material. For example, working at a height, machinery, electrical work, and also have heavy lifting. And the second one is assess risk associated with the hazard. Okay, how we assess the risk is by rating likelihood 1 until 5 and also their severity 1 until 5, and then to calculate the risk score we have to multiple likelihood and severity. And also to implement control measure, use the hierarchy, which the first one is eliminate, second one is substitute, third one is engineering, fourth one is administration, and the last one is PPE. For the tools of risk assessment, we are using 5x5 matrix. Okay, this is the components for the 5x5 matrix, which include likelihood and then a severity. So the likelihood is rating from 1 until 5 and also the severity is 1 until 5. Okay, to get the total score, we have to multiple both of them. Okay, when we multiple, we can get low, medium, and high. Okay, for the low, the score is 1 until 4, which is no needed action to take. And then the second medium is 5 until 12, we have to monitor and also manage that risk. And also, and the last one is high. Okay, when the risk is high, we have to take immediate action, immediate management, and also attention, very high attention for this risk. Okay, the score risk of that high is 15 until 25. Okay, we managed to get one example of the high rank from the one of company that we have interviewed, which is company from Con Elevator Amsterdam Berhad. Okay, the competent person which is handle this is Mr. Muhammad Koyum. Okay, as we can see here, the hierarchy form is contained of a chop, sequence of chop, hazard, consequence, okay, and then the control measure, which is to control that risk. Okay, and then also they have a risk analysis, like I said before. This component is likelihood, severity, and also the risk score, and then the risk level. Okay, this is one of the example that we managed to get from him. Okay, I have made a summary or conclusion from the hierarchy form that is given to us. Okay, the job task is content of 10, which the first one is project briefing, second one is barricading, shaft area, mobilizing material, scaffold installation, guide rail installation, U-frame installation, hose roping, electrification work, function testing, and also housekeeping. Okay, so the project briefing, we can see the score is 6, which is medium. Okay, when we got a score of medium, we have to monitor and manage the risk. And then for the second one is barricading shaft area. Okay, the score is 8, which is medium, also medium. We have to monitor and also manage the risk. And then mobilizing material also include in a medium. Okay, and you have to monitor and manage. Same with the scaffold, and then same also with the guide rail installation. Okay, and then also same as U-frame installation and hoist roping. All of this is included in a medium level of risk, so we have to monitor and also manage that risk. Okay, oh sorry, and then also for electrification work, also this include in the medium level of risk. Okay, for the low level of risk, function testing and also housekeeping. Okay, there's no action needed for that risk.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to explain about a risk control measure implemented for the IT platform installation project carried out by Kony Elevator. They apply a combination of engineering, administrative, and personal protective control along with supporting measure to create a safe work environment. First, under engineering control, they use guardrail structure that were properly braced and teared to prevent fall. They also install ventilation blowers and adequate lighting inside the lift shaft to improve air quality and visibility. Barricades and lockable gate were placed around hazardous area to stop unauthorized access. For administrative control, they held a daily toolbox briefing to communicate hazard clearly, enforce a permit to work or we call as PTW for high risk activity, and require everyone to sign a job hazard analysis form before starting their task. Supervisor carry out routine inspection and they apply a body system to check harness and equipment before entering the shaft. Next, PPE or personal protective equipment was essential. All workers wore a full body harness with double layer safety helmet, anti-cut glove, safety boot, and goggles to prevent heat stress. Hydration breaks and rest period were scheduled regularly. Finally, they also introduced supporting measures to strengthen their safety culture. They displays they display multilingual safety sign, organized a refresher training session, and provided incentive to encourage safe behavior. Regular emergency drills were conducted to prepare everyone for potential incident. Overall, by combining this layer of control, they ensured the work was carried out safely and complied with the regulation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Siti Saliana Muhammad Zani. My metric number is 2023207586. So today I will explain and briefly shortly about the conclusion and also the summary regarding about our project. So I'd like to share about the success of hierarch implementation during the during the IT platform installation project at Con Elevators Neighborhood. So using the hierarch asset identification, risk assessment and also risk control is a key safety requirement under Malaysia DOSH regulation. For this project, it allows us to systematically identify the hazard, accessories, and also implement the effective control, ensuring both of this compliance is a strong safety culture in the workplace. A big part of this success was the leadership from Muhammad Qayyum, which is the Certified Safety Officer. With his guidance, they manage such specific risks like electrical exposure, tripping hazard, and also confined space access using the engineering solution, clear procedure, and also the wearing a proper PPE. Just as important was the involvement for the worker throughout open the communication and reporting of near misses. They built a transparent team-driven safety environment. Sometimes even the International Labour Organization emphasized as the best practice on this. The result for the incident is a 0 throughout of the project. So as we know that the safety isn't one time of the goals, so that's why they continue to improve throughout the regular audits and also updated training and peer-to-peer safety support. In short, and also the conclusion, the project reflects our commitment to a workplace where everyone should go home safely. Thank you.